Not only am I bald, but I have a bulbous head the size of Sputnik.
It's got its own gravitational force.
That's right. Throw a donut at it, it stops, it starts, yeah. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Friday night, and I'm in my underpants once again. I'm Cruddy Joe, and with the rest of the Get Along gang, we got the Ayatollah of Rock and Roll, Gene Coffenberry, Hanson, Jimmy Hanson, and we have the tallest man on Shackle Island, Larry, the Intercessor Underwood.
Woo! Hail Thor.
Hail Thor.
We're pretty excited this week because we have gone outside the circle for the first time.
Daggum celebrity.
Real life celebrity.
The circle is broken.
Larry, you're originally from Hendersonville, Tennessee, aren't you?
No, I am a Nashvilleian.
That's right. Inglewood.
That's right.
Chiller Cinema began in June of 1999.
It was July 1st. 1999 is correct.
June of 99 says so right here on my phone.
Well,
That's it. That's it.
what do I know?
Yeah, who do you think you are? So there you go, July 1st, allegedly. And then many moons later, it kind of morphed into Dr. Gangrene Presents.
Yeah, but only after we had this one special guest. You know, we had a lot of guests. A special guest named Joe came in to tell me all about the Hoff scale. We had him live in the dungeon.
The episode was The Lady is a Vampire. We discussed the movie Vampirella.
That timeless classic.
And if I'm not mistaken, it was through meeting Larry is when I kind of met the other horror rock nerds, where I eventually met the likes of Gino and Jimmy and Eric Estrada.
And Thor.
I think I became aware of Larry. Somebody had said, oh, Nashville has a horror host. We didn't have that where I was. We get up here and I immediately scour the listings to find out when the horror host show comes on. The Dr. Gangrene show comes on. I think it was Thursday nights at 11:30 or something like that. So I watched, and it was a half-hour show, and you were doing like the giant Gila monster. And in the middle of that, you showed a Psychocharger video. You know, I'm already friends with Jimmy Psycho. I reached out to him like the next day. You know,
Yeah, he had contacted me at some point, sent me the video, said, yeah, feel free to run it. So, of course, I did, played the hell out of it. I think it was that, what is it, Grave Robbers from Outer Space?
I reached out to you like right after that. We were talking about doing this band, and lived on for close to 20 years now.
Absolutely, man. That first lineup of the Crudds, you and Chris and Manthon, Travis, definitely a unique, unlike any of the other singers.
I was thinking, well, this band is going to last until February.
He was better than we remembered.
It was a weird mix of people in that band in the beginning, like it is now, where it's more of like I want to call it like a nerd factory, but at that point, it was just a weird mix of dudes.
Well, everything's weird when you first start out. You're kind of stumbling around, and same thing with my show. Figure it out as you go along.
Copious amounts of editing.
Oh, editing is everything.
Jimmy, you will never be the blah, blah, blah guy. Sorry.
I eat the living from the first Crudds record. I have a version of that same recording with him singing it. I'm more of just like he was definitely like,
Wait, how was he like again?
As opposed to,
You, sir, do you have any remorse or regret about the hole you left in your wake after you disbanded Spookhand?
Hey, it wasn't my disbanding. It was the, well, really, I think it was bass and guitarist both said, we're done. I'm out. It was Jeff, the bass player, pretty much was the one who said, not going to do this anymore. But we went to practice one day, and they both were just like, and Jeff was just, I think he was just tired of doing it. I was perfectly happy doing it at the time, but it was okay. I mean, it had been 3 years, and I think I got it out of my system. It was one of those things I always wanted to do. I always wanted to kind of do some music, get in a band, all that. Had a good time doing it. But, doing the horror host thing was my true calling. And honest, it's funny, I could get up and do the Dr. Gangrene shtick, never even think twice about it. I'm always a nervous wreck singing on stage. It makes me, I hate it. I'm worried I'm going to forget my lyrics. I get almost like, I won't say stage fright, but it's just, I just don't like it. And I've just gotten where I don't know. Going out to clubs and playing is not my favorite thing anymore. I mean, I had a little bit of that back when we were doing the band. And I remember, Gino, you saying, man, you're just getting up in front of people. It's not a big deal. And at the time I was kind of like, yeah, you're right. And it made it better, and it was fine. But as time went along, the longer I did it, what if I get up there and forget my lyrics? That was always my biggest thing. Always scared I'd forget my lyrics. Yeah. I mean, and it was a lot of fun. I will say I had a blast doing it, and it was awesome when you have one of those shows, and you guys will know exactly what I'm talking about. When you connect with the audience, they just start going. I mean, they feel that energy, and it's this back and forth thing. There's nothing like it. I mean, it's awesome. It's a rush. Just mosh pit starts going, and everybody's into it. It's pretty cool. We did that, that's fun.
Well, what's unfortunate is, and as we're going through preparing to do the Cruddy Joe show during the week, I'm helping Joe dig up music videos and stuff like that for the pre-show. And as far as I know, there's no official Spokane video.
We never made any videos. There's a little bit of live footage on YouTube.
Yeah, there's a little bit of live stuff. I would have figured with the resources that you have to film, you would have taken your album and at least made one or two songs with video on there.
I was tore up. What about me? What about my feelings?
Yeah.
We did take that into account. We had a big band meeting.
And then they ultimately decided, we're breaking up.
Well, I have an offer for you. I can speak on behalf of the Cruds that if you ever want to do a Spokane reunion show, we can be your backup band, and you would just do entirely Spokane songs.
That would be wild. That would be a lot of fun. That would be fun. That would be fun. That'd be fun for a hootenanny, which it doesn't look like will happen this year, so it'd have to be next year.
It definitely isn't feeling like there's going to be any chance of a horror hootenanny as we know it this year.
2 words, horror zoom-tananny.
Jimmy's already told me he's pretty much ready to die of COVID.
For rock and roll? Yes.
So the official word is that we aren't planning on doing a horror hootenanny.
Did you say breasts or breath?
Jimmy, is there a Crud song you're dying to sing live you most want to do?
At this point, all of them. The new one, definitely. There's a song that we play that you people might have heard called I Sold My Brain that is a nearly perfect rock and roll song. It should probably be in the Louvre hanging next to the Mona Lisa as a fully realized piece of art.
That we actually uncovered our current drummer playing that tune. We will be able to record a new version of that with Jimmy doing vocals.
I'm ready.
We need a new idea for the video because obviously we don't want to redo something that looks just like Livin Cruddy. Something people can pitch ideas to help us out that could involve the fans.
Or topless.
Something to look forward to.
After your hiatus, what made you decide to make a comeback in October of 2019 for the Sanitarium?
It was my 20th anniversary as a horror host. The station manager for the CW reached out to me and said, hey man, why don't we get you back on the air? We'll put you on prime time in October. So it was 7 o'clock Saturday nights. Why are you on the same time as Fingula? It's the time they gave me. Did 4 episodes in October. In December, I had a conversation with Cameron McCaslin, and he said, I've got a spot we need to fill on Saturday nights from 9 to 11. I said, I'll take it. And now people can watch Svengoolie and change the channel and watch my show.
Yeah, I learned the hard way. If there's another horror show on the same time as the Cruddy Joe show, Gino's going to watch that one.
Boom!
Joe Bob is a liar.
Yeah.
Fake news.
There's room for all of them. Got to have it all, man. Brides of Dracula. That movie is just fantastic. I mean, it's such a great movie.
I'm not a big fan of the vampire in that. It does have Cushing in one of his better roles.
Peter Cushing is the main attraction. That movie, though, how they filmed it and how certain scenes play out and the look of it and the vibe and the sound. Particularly, I'm thinking of the scene. I know you know this scene where they're in the horse stable. It's kind of later in the movie, and the locks are falling off the coffin.
Yeah, and they're still locked. And of course, Cushing with the hot iron on his neck.
Peter Cushing is almost like an action hero.
I was having this discussion a couple of nights ago. He is such a physical actor. People don't think about him. Watch how physical he is.
You know what I always say? More Cushing for the pushing.
In Curse of Frankenstein, he takes the old man up the step and he pushes him face first over the banister, face first into the fucking ground. How the hell did they film that? That was a stunt man going face first into the ground.
Yeah, no, it was, but there was no padding. I don't know, man.
You could see the guy's face hits the cement. I mean, it might even be rubber or whatever, but whatever it is, he hit this thing face first. His head bounces up. It's not a dummy. It's not a mannequin or most hardcore stunt scenes.
I like Curse of the Werewolf, Hound of the Baskervilles, Plague of the Zombies, and for the Frankenstein movies, Curse of Frankenstein. For the Dracula, of course, Horror of Dracula. But I really like Dracula's Risen from the Grave a lot, too.
Yeah, all those are great. I definitely love Curse of the Werewolf. That's Plague of the Zombies has got a lot of Michael Ripper.
And so does Risen from the Grave. That's the one playing, of course, the innkeeper, the barkeeper, and it's got the guy named Paul that does the drinking contest with the cup on the ceiling. And
who is also the dude from
Booty Tang.
Blood on Satan's Claw.
Looks like Roger Daltrey.
Yes, it definitely. I always think of Roger Daltrey when I see that guy.
I'm going to change gears here for a minute. Going back to the Creeping Cruds and starting off, I have to say, Gino, I was going through some notes. You sort of really helped helped keep my show going at one point. There was a period between the cable access, the Creature Feature period. Creature Feature, they brought me on and gave me a package of movies and said, here, you can show any of our stuff, pick what you want. But there was a period in between there where I was actually paying to be on the air. And that's when the Hootenanny got started. You came on board and we had the first Hootenanny as a fundraiser.
You were kind of bumming that your finances were drying up, and I'm like, well, people will definitely get something out of it. Who would have ever guessed that it would go on for a better part of 20 years?
Debbie Rochon showed up. Did you know that?
Yeah, I knew she was there.
She was filming something in the area. George Dimmick brought her.
They filmed portions of American Scary at the first Horror Hootenanny. All that stuff with Jimmy and those guys is filmed out behind that.
You need to write down the details of that transaction down, because I'm putting a package together, sent to the Vatican to have Gino canonized.
Saint Gino.
Finally, somebody's doing that.
Patron saint of Nashville rock and roll on them.
Okay.
I made chicken tikka pizza.
Chicken who?
Chicken tikka pizza.
What is that?
That's chicken tikka masala from Friday night. And you let it sit and coagulate and get really good. And then you make pizza dough on Saturday when you make your bread, right? And you use some of that. You make a little flatbread and put the leftover chicken tikka masala on it. It's amazing. Amazing. I do make it thin and sort of rectangular like a flatbread. But then I put the chicken tikka on it, put the sauce on it. Then you bake the dough blind for 10 minutes, 425, 450. And then I put the chicken and all the stuff on it. A little more sauce and boom, boom, boom. It's delicious. You love it.
We have the part of the show here where I read off a lyric from a rock and roll song, and you have to tell me the band, the song, or the next line.
And I'll see how well everyone's done so far.
Jeff got the song, but he could not identify the next verse.
Yeah, loser.
Let's do it.
She's a dancer, a romancer. I'm a Capricorn, and she's a Cancer.
That would be Kiss. Oh shit! What's the damn? Let me think about it for a second.
Is there a time limit? I can't remember.
That would be Kiss. It's a Paul Stanley song. She saw my picture in a music magazine. Is that right?
That's right. Where's the big buzzer?
Woo!
We finally got one. What's the name of the
And
song?
the song is shit. I know it. I mean, I can hear it in my head, but
Sister Christian.
I'm not getting it.
We got another 2/3er. Didn't get the name of the song, which is
Come on and love me.
Come on and love. Of course it is.
You are stumping people.
two options for the name the character and the movie that this quote is from. Do you want the easy one or do you want the hard one?
I'll take the easy one, and if I don't get it, then I'll try the hard one.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
heading up before you guys give each other the hard one.
Here lies the body of Mary Lee, died at the age of 103. For 15 years, she kept her virginity. Not a bad record for this vicinity. We've stumped Dr. Gangrene.
Is it prom night too?
Jaws?
It is Jaws.
Oh,
Yeah.
Who says it?
What's his name? The shark killer guy. Dreyfus? No, I don't remember.
Quint? Is that what you're talking about?
Quinn, yeah.
Yes, it's Quint. So we'll let you guys, you have worked together to get that answer. The harder one, Dave's a killer, Dave's a mess, Dave's ours.
No.
It's the famous scene from Slapshot with the Hanson brothers.
Ah, the Hanson brothers.
Hanson couldn't even get the Hanson question.
You know that?
My head is empty.
No.
It's full of Crud's lyrics.
We'll see. What second special guest would you like to have tonight?
Burley.
Oh, hey, look at that. You got double Larry.
Wash your hands, bitch.
Better wash your hands, bitch.
I got one for Joe here, too.
Oh, boy.
Oh, very nice. So what's going to be the movie the night this airs?
Dark Night of the Scarecrow.
That's a good movie.
Now, who is that in the masks in that Cruddy Joe clip?
Who do you think?
Me and Chris, isn't it? Boomer.
There's Boomer. Thank you, Larry, for being our guest this week. This won't be the last time. Hopefully you'll come back for us sometime soon.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
This whole thing is inspired by our favorite horror host. Obviously, it's Dr. Gangrene.
And with God as my witness, I will one day come back out to Hendersonville and have another movie night at your
We'll do it.
the biggest balls in Hendersonville.
I'm on every Saturday night at 9 p.m. on Nashville's NECAT. Can watch it online at necatnetwork.org, or you can watch it on their Roku channel. Just go to Roku and search for NECAT, and it's on the Arts channel link.
Dr. Gangrene Sanitarium, where every movie is suburban Sasquatch. Well, yeah, I just wanted to thank Larry, thank my pals Gino and James of the Get Along Gang. And for Mr. Furley, I am Cruddy Joe saying see you next week. Until then, nerds up, O's down, while you motherfuckers bounce to this. Peace.